I'm going to keep exploring here. Again, I want to try and keep this as a full exploration because I'm pretty sure the Skeleton King is not the most interesting part about all this. And I'm not sure what other random stuff there is that I haven't seen at this point. I finally saw Leolo the Crazed, I believe was his name. I hadn't seen him before. And that's pretty amazing that it's that rare, considering I've been through the game at least 5 times completely with each class. Another time with the Demon Hunter, and then that's not even counting the number of times I've gone all the way through the Cathedral with my Wizard when I was doing these playthroughs initially to farm for equipment. I just set my spiders on those barrels, yes. So even there, if I could just attack the barrels. Oh well. I'll get over it. There's a small room over here. Let's just make sure that it's a dead end. It probably is. Yep, looks like it. Let's just give it a quick clear. Just checking the mana cost really quick. I'm not seeing my mana costs go up. They may have decided to remove that, because that was honestly a mechanic of the old system before weapon damage scaled with your abilities. They would make your abilities do more damage and then naturally cost more mana, especially since you had the deeper pool. So it's looking like they've decided to do a pass here so the Witch Doctor is more consistent with the other classes. Because Poison Dart and Grasp have not changed in mana cost in any way at this point. And I did kind of comment that in patch 12 that I thought it was kind of weird that you would not be doing more damage and yet you would be spending more resource. It was offset again by the mana growth, but it still felt a little weird to me that that would be changing. Alright, let's save Deckard. Can I throw them from here? Oh, yeah, I can. Just at the right angle. Yeah, see, I don't even have to worry about getting hit right now. It's because my zombie dogs are really taking it all right now. Even my spiders to an extent. Quick looky-loo over here. Tome of Town Portal? No. How about a Scroll of Identify? No. A Page of Training? No.
Thank you. Because you needed my help. Oh, it is wonderful to hear that Leah is
so, I did talk about the Page of Training. Force had a playthrough where he was getting those. I started playing after they were removed. But then I noticed when my blacksmith hit maximum level, he needed a blacksmith page of training, as it were, page of blacksmithing. Looks like the word on that is that those pages will start dropping in nightmare mode. So that's actually something that we won't see on normal. So level 4 is the expected maximum level for your, excuse me, for your smith. by the end of Nightmare. Just making sure I don't have anything else. I do have pants with more experience. 7, 8, 9. I'll go ahead and hold on to those. Of course, it is sad that I will not be able to turn Hadrig's wife into a chicken this time. Oh, one moment. I did get a new ability here. I am at level 6, so I got a new rune for Poison Dart. Splinters. 3 darts that deal 70% weapon damage as poison each. So, we have a trade-off here. And this is honestly a good example of, as we were talking about in at least the last videos, as to how are the runes going to affect the way you play. And in this case, we lose the additional damage over time here, so we don't have that 180 anymore. As a trade-off, I will now very quickly shoot 3 darts, and each of those darts does 70%. So that makes Poison Dart with Splinters better for, say, groups or enemies that die quickly. Now, when you calculate it together, it does actually do more damage as well. That 70% weapon damage is over 3 darts. So you get your 70 over 3 darts, that's actually 210 weapon damage. So, yes, this is definitely an upgrade. But if you're looking to maybe hit bigger targets and have the weapon damage do a drain, you do lose that poison damage. Overall, I would say I would still see myself in either case using it with Splinters just because it will fire quickly.
Thank you. Follow me.
I think maybe if they brought that down, then it might be more of a decision between using it with or without a rune. Though I'm starting to wonder if they really want you to use skills without runes. They did say before that they wanted some of the skills to be viable without runes, but they may have stepped away from that a little bit. Now, the truth of the matter is, even if they step away from that, you will still have to choose between runes. So I may have a rune that, and I'll look at them in a bit more detail later as I get them, to be honest with you, but that, when you're choosing between runes is when you really start to see some of the customization options. Choosing between a skill with a rune and without a rune is kind of not fair, considering you're talking about a base skill over a skill with an additional component. Look at that. Lots of damage with my Splinters and with my Corpse Spiders.
I couldn't have done this without you. You'll find his tomb in a cemetery in the Weeping Hollow. And if you see my fool apprentice,
so this build right now, as I have it, is probably going to be really well suited for single targets. Do decent damage with the poison darts, and of course things that die quickly, the Splinters will compensate me for as well. But the Corpse Spiders, of course, much stronger against a single target. Still decent against a group. What? Oh, one of them didn't die. Or there was just a nest of them over here. Yeah, here we go. Now I would really like to have Grasp. That's okay. Starting to run low on my resource here, even with using Poison Dart, but there I go. All I have to do is kind of stop for a moment. Wow, a whole bunch of monsters here. Ah, there's part of it. Let's try and get them. There, that'll help. Alright, let me hold down Alt here and see what's dropped. There we go. And there's the Blacksmith Apprentice, pretty close to town.
This apprentice's spirit dwells within the unformed land now. Hadric Eamon should be told.
I honestly think the best example, if we're going to talk about rune versus no rune, is the Fist of Lightning or Fist of Thunder. You know, I really forget which it is now. Of the monk, the very first ability the monk gets. Without a rune, it does 100% weapon damage every hit over a 3-hit combo. That final hit of the combo, unruned, will do a knockback and 100% weapon damage. And it does hit enemies in kind of a small area in front of the monk. When you rune it the first time, you lose the knockback and you lose the 100% weapon damage in favor of kind of a 60% weapon damage, and it hits more enemies. It does a chain lightning that jumps across. So that right there is kind of what you might see with some skills that are better without a rune than their first rune. Overall, though, I honestly think they want the first runes to be something powerful, because otherwise, if you level up and get, you get something that, like a rune like that, and you're like, well, I don't really want that, I just want to keep using the base skill. Which, wouldn't be terrible. It's still opening up an option for you. Been doing a lot of discussion lately, mainly on the Diablo fans website, about things like that and how the rune system and the options they give you. I am definitely leveling quickly. That is nice to see. I was really afraid I wasn't going to have any experience gear. My crafting was not working out in my favor. I even tried looking for it, going through the cathedral, farming, and just by chance I checked the vendors and found experience gear. Okay, we've gained another rune, this time for Grasp of the Dead. So, that's great because I would really like Grasp of the Dead, and we're going to get to try it, and I've got 2 skills with runes now. Alright, how about you guys finish everything off? I'm going to get a new skill. Grasp of the Dead and Groping. Groping Eels. Increases the damage done to 78% weapon damage per second as physical. Well, there you go. There's one that is just a direct upgrade. A pretty nice upgrade. That's almost double the damage, really. So I'm going to be doing a ton of AoE damage with this. I have seen this ability. If you've watched my co-op videos, you have too. I'll go over it here. And there's kind of a small... It's kind of a shame here, really, what's about to happen, because I like Grasp of the Dead. I like the skill Grasp of the Dead. I also like the visual look of Grasp of the Dead. You've got kind of a pull, you've got hands reaching up, trying to pull the enemies down to the underworld with them. And that's always something I thought was just kind of a neat spell graphic, Let me show you these Groping Eels. There you go, I'll zoom in a little bit. It's a pool of eels, and you're kind of, looks like a little more than ankle deep in this pool. that is cool and all. I mean, I think it's a nice spell effect. The problem is, I just really like the grasping hands. Which is kind of a shame, because obviously, why do I want to use this skill without a rune to get the grasping hands back? Now, there's probably a rune out there that makes the grasping hands return and possibly maybe be burning or, you know, something like that. I'm sure there is. And that's kind of the consequence of having these runes change the spell effects. I mean, it's kind of nice to see the spell effects change, but at the same time, if you had a particular effect you really like, you lose it. Most spells are not this dramatic, I've noticed, or at least not the ones I had on the Demon Hunter. Bolo Shot and Hungering Arrow both were very consistent in their look. Piercing changed my arrow to be just a black arrow instead of, honestly, white, I believe, and then the Immolation Arrow just set it on fire. Alright, we're going to go through this Den of the Fallen here, and I'm going to end up closing this off here pretty soon. I actually do have some commitments tonight that I have to take care of. One of which is making sure some heroic bosses die in World of Warcraft tonight, or so I hope. But I wanted to at least get this started and get some footage that I can put up. Especially since some people seem to be very interested in seeing the Witch Doctor. So far it doesn't feel bad. I mean, I know it's been nerfed, but I don't feel terrible about it. Most of the nerfs, honestly, were not of a grand scale. Yeah, you had a 40% nerf to the zombie dogs. Some of the other spells, Fallen Shaman, nerfed just a tiny bit. But as you can see, Poison Dart, my primary spell, wasn't touched. So I'm still doing good damage with that. And it's just, I think it's more the supplemental spells that you had that do additional damage alongside your nuke that have been reduced, is what it seems like. Which may not have been a bad idea, because I was talking about how all these... The Witch Doctor's main motif seems to be you want to use a lot of spells that work off each other. So, for example, when I was using my favorite build, Haunt, Grasp of the Dead, and the Poison Darts, you know, I built each skill on top of each other, doing stacking damage. Oh, of course, I've got a bunch of whites and I don't need more. Oh, can I use any of my... Yes, I can use my experience pants. I need to be 9 for that and 8 for that. And I just kept that because I got lucky with an intelligence proc. I'm going to honestly share this with you. I've had bad luck with helmets. Every single helmet I've crafted in this version of the beta, and it could just be my random luck. Who knows, it could be a bug. I honestly just think I'm having bad luck with it. Every helm I've made, each helm has a plus to Magic Find, as you can see, but it has one random property. That one random property that I've gotten for about 7 out of 8 helms that I've made were all plus to strength. I got lucky to have one with plus intelligence, and the truth is I was trying to get one with plus experience. I gave up. I really stopped wasting the resources on a helmet. I have plenty of experience here, as you can see already. Moving fairly quickly to be level 7 already. I definitely wanted to get the experience gear, because when I played the Demon Hunter, I could kind of feel that I was leveling slowly comparatively, which, you know, if I were playing the game just for myself with the release of the game, that would be fine. I honestly don't anticipate to be holding on to just experience gear when I play through the first time. Just because I'll want to get anything that increases my damage or survivability. And I'm not concerned about leveling super fast. I will be questing the entire time, I will be exploring the entire time. I am fairly sure I will hit level 30 without much of an issue when I hit the end of normal mode. So really, really not concerned about that.
Need more time.
That's honestly one of those things, getting the experience gear, just because I know there's only 13 levels, and when I'm putting out videos like this, you know, it's one of the things I want to do. I want to get as much content out as possible. I mean, I know you guys seem to like the full explorations, but after you've seen a few of these full explores, you know, you're like, well, you've kind of seen it all. You might be looking for maybe that occasional random spawn or something like that that you have not seen before. But in the end, it's I want to try and get those skills. And part of it is, you know, what I could do is I could simply just level and then come back at level 13 and say, hey guys, here's all the skills and abilities. But really, what the intention of what I'm doing here is, this is kind of like a feedback thing. This is, I want to record as I play so that I can kind of get that experience, you know, unrehearsed first and foremost, because I've not gone through these classes before. You're watching me play through each one as I start playing it. Of course, now that I've played the last patch, I know the class is better, so there's not as many surprises, but I get to you know, give feedback directly as I'm leveling, so I can report on what does it feel like as you're leveling up. Like, for example, I hit level 3, 4, you know, and there I am already with some really nice abilities, and I feel like my leveling experience feels good right there at the beginning. So if you're wondering about the beginning Witch Doctor, there you go. I think it's great. And then as I go along, we'll talk about how do I feel, you know, moving on. How do I feel as a high-level Witch Doctor compared to a low-level? And here's something, in case you were ever curious, your shrines do stack. They did not stack in Diablo 2. You would pick one up and then it would overwrite. So now I have my magic find and I have attack speed both stacked right now. I imagine theoretically you could have every shrine effect on you at one time. Good luck finding them that close together though. I'm just not going to pick those up anymore. I want to level up my blacksmith a bit more and craft a bit more, but my gold, honestly, at this point is pretty good, so I'll probably just stick to the blues.
It needs more time.
Yeah, it's like holding onto a machine gun with these splinters here. Yep, just wanted to make sure I explored there. Well, not much here on the second level, it looks like. Okay. I want to get to the cemetery here. Let's see if I can at least hit level 8 before I stop this. Ah, the hangman tree. Not activating, or maybe it's just a random tree. There is a hangman tree event that drops a lore item. It's normally destroying that. So let me pick up the hat and make sure. Huh, no, I guess not. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Hey, you know, these YouTube playthroughs and whatnot that I'm doing, I mean, obviously, as much as I enjoy doing them, I have fun making these, really. especially as a platform to kind of share, you know, show the game off a little for people that either may have been on the fence or are really looking to have some beta footage. You know, if some people are still eating it up. You know, give you some footage along with some, you know, a little personal commentary and maybe analysis. You know, and I have fun with it, but in truth, in the long run, this is all about, you know, what people want to see, and so far everything has been really positive. Again, I can't thank you guys enough, really, because it's been a great encouragement. And in the end, if it comes down to it, if people want to see things slightly differently, if they want me to record slightly differently, you know, I'm all for it. Whatever you guys want, really, is the mantra I'm looking at here. You know. So, if anyone takes offense, of course, of me blitzing through the story, since I've gone through it so many times, please let me know. I'm doing that, honestly, at this point as a courtesy, because I feel that the characters respond the same. I haven't heard enough different responses between the male and female characters to warrant constantly letting the story play. And again, it seems like the interest I'm receiving is in how the system works. But if you guys still want to see that, just to be sure, I'll record it. I'll make sure to do that. That's not a big deal, honestly. I'm still kind of thinking about putting a Templar video together with all the dialogue that the Templar does. Mainly as a so I can kind of put that out there as its own thread to let people know about it, because I'm not sure how many people do know about it. Obviously, every one of you here who has watched my wizard video knows about it. Not quite at level, but there's still some open space. Here we go. So my Grasp of the Dead gained damage, but it didn't lose its snare. That's definitely an upgrade. Here we go, level 8. And another rune. Actually thought okay, yep, there we go. Actually, there is another ability I learned, Hex. Hex. I'm not worried about using that one, honestly. Let's look at what the corpse spiders get. Leaping spiders. Summon leaping spiders that leap up to 25 yards to reach their target and attack for 30% weapon damage as physical. I'm not sure what the leap up 25 yards has to do with it. I mean, it looks like it's a straight up increase to their damage by 5%, 30%, you know, 30% instead of 25. That's interesting. Definitely we'll have to look at it. Let's pick that up, hit accept. I do not want to get rid of my zombie dogs for Hex. I think I'll end up passing this. Let me just make sure there's not a... here we go. There has been a nerf to Hex, again by 40%. So when you think about the nerf stick that the Witch Doctor got, honestly, look at it in this terms. Like, the abilities that have been nerfed are like Plague of Toads, Hex. The zombie dogs did get a nerf, which I didn't like to see, but, you know, Grasp of the Dead, which is supplemental damage. The corpse spiders were nerfed. From 38 to 25. I don't know if I had mentioned that. Let me go back. I'll pass on that. But the nerf here to Hex is it went down from 20% to 12% additional damage for anything turned into a chicken. So honestly, I want to keep the zombie dogs. I'm sorry about that. If you guys want to see, you know, Hex again, you can check the other video, or, you know, really, if you want to see it in this patch, just to be sure, I can do something for it if you want. Not a big deal. Again, like I said, it's all about what you guys want to do. Let me just see here, leaping spiders. And yeah, that's 25 weapon damage. That's what I want to show you. It used to be 38. So, corpse spiders did get a nerf. But think about it this way. Again, these are all supplemental damages that they're doing. Poison Dart is still my primary damage right now. It is has been untouched. still doing a lot of damage with poison darts. My dogs are doing less, my Grasp of the Dead is doing less, and here my corpse spiders are doing less, but they're all adding damage to what I'm already doing, so they probably took issue with it being, well, look at that. Okay. I think the reason why they put that leaping node in there... Oh, poor dogs.
My bags are full.
Oh, of course they're full. I keep picking up whites, and I don't exactly mean to. It's just habit at this point. Of course, I'm picking up weapons that are better than the weapon I have, because I'm not finding decent magical weapons. Anyway, I imagine the point of saying that they leap to 25 yards is because when you throw it, they would They look pretty cool, too. Look at that. What is that, Black Widow? Sorry, easily distracted. Ooh, shiny. The normal corpse spiders, when you throw them out there, they stick near their target and then they walk a little bit before they die, and they don't really go that far. So like here, if I do that, yeah, they won't go that far. Let's put them here. You can see they leap right to the enemy. So not only have they been buffed by 5% because of the rune, think about that. 25% has been increased to 30%. It's a minor buff to damage, but the big buff is that if you throw spiders down and enemies die, they will leap to the next target and quickly start attacking again. So you've gained not only a weapon damage buff to your spiders, but a utility buff and essentially an attack speed buff there, because they will find the target quickly and just be right on it. So I like that. Alright, I'm going to kill this guy over here, and then I'm going to go back to town, and I'm going to end this series, or at least this part of the series here at this point. And we will pick up on my next recording for the crypts. And we'll do some more exploring, get as many levels as we can. In the meantime, I believe I can use one of my new items here. Yes, my intelligence helm. Let's take a look at what it looks like real fast. So this will give me some more additional damage. It's not bad. That's actually one of the more tame items that the Witch Doctor has ever worn. Although I do notice it is the lower jawbone of something. Alright. That's it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, once again I am Kagekaze, and thanking you all greatly for your warm reception and feedback. Again, if you like the videos, feel free to thumb up and leave me feedback if you have any.